We're about to get underway for the start of the race. Gibbo is going to lead us off. 5 red lights. We hold. It's a drive through for Hodgson. It's lights out of the way. We go. Dickinson gets a brilliant jump on Gibbo right off the start. And that is a terrible start for Gibbo. He's been jumped by Jackson and Dickinson. And that's a car spinning right before turn 1. That is Vernon Higgs falling all the way down the order. Gibbo taking to the right. And the Aston Martin of Morgan going sideways as well there. So he's fallen right down the pack as well. Disappointing for Remy. But it's Dickinson that leads us the way. And we have a battle for the lead. It's Jackson down the inside of Dickinson into turn 4. Jackson leading us away. And that's an infantry driver of Beck trying to go down the inside of Gibbo. Almost gets it done. That's a little bit of a moment. But still keeps it pointing in the right direction. So a change of the lead already. It's been Gibbo, it's been Dickinson, it's been Jackson. 3 different leads, and we're not even at the end of lap 1 yet. Drivers all following around. We get some beautiful camera shots here of all the drivers coming through. Still on board with this front battle. But a bit for a good start by Talbot. Has jumped up to P8. The debutant from the UOTC. Seems like I'm seeing that it may have been Bell's fault for one of the collisions that went on there. Possibly into the rear of Morgan. But that'll be for the stewards to decide later on. Currently Jackson leads. Gibbo's all over the back of Dickinson right now. So after Dickinson's not brilliant start, he's looking to come back and already jumps past not one, but almost 2 drivers. He tries to go down the inside of Jackson. Doesn't manage it. Jackson holds on to the lead for now. But that could be the straight line speed of Gibbo. So even though Gibbo started on the softer compound, immediately the 2 hard runners of Dickinson and Jackson jumped him. And we have a virtual safety car. And now Danny's going to go for the move. Sorry, Bell's going to go for the move on Blakey. Side by side, but there's no ERS left for Bell. This circuit is very ERS heavy. You cannot save it based on how much you use. And Danny's going to go for the move on Blakey as well. That straight with no DRS is just nothing you can do. And it seems like Danny almost has the move done, but Blakey's able to come back at him and stay where he is for now. But Danny's not over yet. And just behind him, we've got Savage on the back of Corey as well. And I believe, is that Savage going down the inside of Corey? No, thinks better of it this time round. If I've back Dickinson still on the back of Jackson. So quite a mixed up grid, I'd say at the moment. But the battles are fairly close. So that's Talbot coming into the pits again. It seems like a second pit stop. Not sure if he's having damage issues. Morgan's slowly creeping his way back up the order. He's up to 13th now. We go back on board with Danny. This, like one of the drivers I was saying, like the drivers in Season 2 that are coming back even stronger in Season 3. Danny's definitely one of them. As he's now frequently running in the points, at least has been the last 2 races. Even if it's towards the lower end of the points, he's in and about it. You know, there's P7's just in front of him. He can see that. And Pavy's tagging onto the back of Walters. So Walters has got that move done on Pavy. And is now pulling him along. Go on board with Dickinson and Jackson as they're battling for second place. But Jackson gives Dickinson just about enough room and holds on to P2 for now. No movement just there. Back in the battle for P7. It's Blakey and Bell. Bell managed to stay ahead for now. Still going defensive from Blakey. As Hodgson gets a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. That's something we've got to watch out for. As they'll all be applied at the end of the race. And Danny's still lurking and goes for a move down the inside of Blakey. Holds that inside line. Ooh, touches the curb a little bit. Hopefully get back underway without losing position. He's got Corey right behind. He's going to look to capitalise. But Danny remains composed. Holds on to his position for now. Back on board with the battle for P8. Blakey does not look like he's done yet. But Bell is pulling a little bit of a gap through these corners. And gap now 7/10 of a second. So he is pulling away. Back on board with the battle for the podium places. So Gibbo hasn't pulled away a lot from these back 3. Actually, Jackson has started to maybe catch Gibbo a little bit. I don't know if Gibbo's used up all of his ERS, but doesn't look like it. But Jackson's close to that 1 second gap. He'll be wanting to get in it. No movement between those drivers this time. Pavey on the back of Walters. Nothing yet, but Walters running a P5 is very impressive. So I'll give him massive credit for that. And that is Bell fighting with Blakey. Blakey's managed to get the job done on Bell. And Corey has got past Savage, or they're still battling with Savage and Danny, I should say. Looking to go for the move down the inside. That's a very sharp turn to go for the move down the inside of. Seems like the drivers avoid contact down there. So great bit of racecraft from the two. Corey goes a bit wide on the exit. But this is right near the lower end of the points. That's Bell and Blakey still battling up ahead. They're side by side. Blakey remains in P7. So he takes back the P7 from Bell. These two drivers will probably be battling the entire race, it seems like. And they're battling so hard that Danny and Corey and Savage are now all on the back end of this. And this is all for the low end of the points. Only down to P10 do the points get handed out. So there's a lot to fight for here. As that's Bell going a bit wide. There's only so many times you're going to be able to get away with that before the stewards come in and give him a 3-second penalty. But this is there's a close battle. And talking of close battles, it's Dickerson with the DRS open is going to jump ahead of Jackson. And hopefully he'll just try and get closer and closer to Gibbo with that DRS. Well, that's what they'll be hoping for. Beck just still sitting in P4, just watching it all go down. Walters and Pavey, still nothing between the two, as Vernon Higgs gets a 3-second time penalty. Not fantastic, but Bell, Danny, and Blakey now fighting. Danny's got around Blakey and now looking to get the move done on Bell as well. Yeah, we've got to remember all this because we're going to have to give out a driver of the day at the end as well. Because I'm not doing F1's driver of the day. Because they'll just give it to whoever. This is proper driver of the day. We know these guys personally. But look at this DRS train that goes all the way down from P7 to P12. Incredible. There's 6 drivers all within DRS of each other there. And Bell just at the front of this chain. I mean, I imagine if Danny stays this close, he'll be able to get the move done in the DRS. I mean, Bell doesn't have any ERS left. And it's so hard to restore it. So it just means he's losing that power out of these corner exits. And on the straights. Everywhere, pretty much. But Blakey right behind Danny's going to go for it. Danny's actually also on the hard compound. So racing with these guys on the mediums. Well, Blakey on the mediums. He's doing well. And that is, speaking of the devil, Blakey going sideways and right into the wall. And that's caused a safety car. And Gibbo is going to get us underway as he launches out of the final corner. Immediately tries to break the toe. Jackson comes across to follow. And consequently, the rest of the cars come along to follow. And it looks like, even with the toe, Gibbo still remains in P1. Bit of a move further back between Dickerson and Walters. Dickerson getting that move done on Walters early doors. Walters trying to come back at him. Sticks his nose in there, but Dickerson keeps his position for now. So Sapper signals P6, P5 currently. Not bad as Bell picks up another 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. I don't know if he's colourblind to the white line, but he is not sticking to it. Still gets us off on the way. I mean, Gibbo's already pulled out a second gap on those fresh stuff. You can just tell the difference in tyres this year is massive. Getting the wrong tyres is, well, it can make or break your race. Savage picks up a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings, which isn't great. Morgan picks up a 3-second time penalty as well. Savage actually losing out to Walters. Sorry, he's lost out to Walters and Donovan. He's fallen down to P8. So Walters running well. Walters, keep going. Keep going, lad. Podium definitely on the cards, especially with the fighting from the front three up top. I mean, if we actually look at Vernon Higgs obviously on the softs, he could contest with Gibbo for this race win. But if he does or doesn't have 3-second time penalty, I mean, Beck goes defensive, can't stop Vernon Higgs, who's had an absolutely awful race up to this point where he's now in P3. So, getting spun out, and then having to serve the drive-through as well on the first safety car restart. He's now back in it in P3, looking, well, we're in net P2 with all the time penalties and the fresh tyres. And trying to hunt down the lead. Gibbo's now extended that gap to 2 seconds. 4 laps remaining in this race. We jump further back. It's Greeno battling with Cross. And he's got Blakey and Danny behind. He's fighting with Bell. There's a switch of lead there between the two. A switch of lead? Switch of positions. Bell and Danny still battling. Not giving me the best camera angle, to be honest. Vernon Higgs has been able to get past Beck and on the back of Jackson. This could be an AGC second place at least. Morgan and Savage switch positions. Further down the order. There's a bit of a gap now between sort of P7 and the rest of the field. But Morgan trying to recover as much as, well, yeah, as many positions as he can. Vernon Higgs looks to go for the move on Jackson. Thinks better of it. And now he will be all over the back of him. DRS won't be enabled until crosses the line. So it'll be enabled this lap they're going on now. So he's just done that on pure pace and ERS. Beck's looking to go for the move on Jackson as well. Azito is still fighting for position and tries to go down the inside. Almost a bit of contact between the two. Maybe just a bit of wheel bumping. But they both used all their ERS. So Jackson and Beck will continue to fight. But Vernon Higgs on those fresh softs is now going to try and sail away. Beck and Jackson have to watch out because Dickerson, with no penalties, is on the way. And once again, fresh softs. And looks like they've not been able to keep up the pace or be able to do anything against these guys in the fresh softs. The green flag, which Savage has retired from the session, which has called a safety car out. And whilst that's gone on, Beck has gone into the back of Jackson, even though we were under the safety car conditions. Maybe just didn't see the safety car light. And now Beck is out of this race. And he is now gone. I think Vernon Higgs in a bit too high of a gear there. That's going to leave him under threat from Jackson. Not a great restart from Vernon Higgs, but he may be bailed out with the soft tyres. And now looking to go for a move. Jackson into turn one. Is he going to go for it? He is going to go for it. Down the inside. Vernon Higgs manages to keep his position for now. But he's got to watch out because Dickerson, with no time penalties, right behind these two and looking for a nice P2. Maybe he'd like a bit more, as there's a Ferrari that's gone round. That's Greeno. He's getting no points out of this race now. The battle for P, the final end of the points is very much on. Gibbo has once again sailed away. Seems like Vernon Higgs' battle has cost him the fight with Gibbo. And now Jackson and Dickerson fighting. Dickerson right behind Jackson. But he's got Walters right behind him. So, currently not a bad showing from the AGC. This may be like their biggest points haul they've had in a race. I don't want to jinx it, but, you know, there's still more time to go. But Walters is on the back of Dickerson. Morgan's on the back of Pavey as well, looking to get that move done as soon as he can. Obviously, Pavey's on the old medium staying out. Jackson's also on the old medium, so I don't see Jackson holding them up. I mean, this is second to last lap. We're now on our last lap of racing, and Walters wants to get that move done on Dickerson. He wants it so badly. I can see it into every corner. And now Jackson looking to try and defend from Dickerson and Walters, who are both going to try and get by. Are they going to go three wide? Dickerson holds the inside line. Jackson's almost able to stay ahead. Dickerson now trying to go around the outside of turn two. Jackson stays ahead for now, but he's still got a fight on his hands. Further down the order, the battles for the point score positions are still heating up. And Dickerson now trying to go down the inside, but almost makes contact with Jackson. And currently got the OTC driver unlapping himself, making his way through on the soft. So there's a little bit of spin, so can't do much of it. Dickerson's still right behind. He knows he's got Walters right with him. See, Vernon Higgs has that 3-second penalty, so I think that's what Dickerson's trying to sort of stay with. He's not been able to do it. Bell gets another 3-second time penalty. There's no chance he's scoring points for the amount he's picked up today. It's at least 12 seconds. So Danny's rocking in P10 right behind Blakey. I mean, I want to try and get on all the battles we can, but this is the battle, the highest one up the grid. I mean, you can see the action going on around you. The final lap of the race. Gibbo's coming around the final corner now with a 2-second gap to Vernon Higgs. He'll say thank you very much. And Dickerson now going down the inside of Jackson. They make contact on the final corner, and Dickerson goes into a spin, which means a guaranteed podium position he is not going to get now. Gibbo crosses the line in P1. Vernon Hicks P2. Jackson crosses the line in P3. With his 3-second time penalty, means Walters takes P3. And for the first time, it's the AGC 1-2, AGC double podium and the highest point score for the AGC. Maybe P5. Sorry, I can't speak. Morgan P6. What a race. I cannot believe what I've just seen. I cannot believe it.